the truth about Colony Ridge, Texas. Now, Glenn, before we get into it, do you want to set it up before we play the trailer here for this documentary?
So there are two stories that came out. One was from the Daily Wire, and one was from the New York Post. And they say that this was run by the drug cartels, that it's going to be the biggest population in one place of illegal immigrants. They don't speak English, that it's a horror show. So when we went down, that's what I was expecting. What I found was not that, but I think just as bad. And this is this gigantic, goes on for miles, this gigantic plot of land where developers are selling it legally to illegals. I think it's $100 down, you can buy a house.
What?
Okay, $100 down, 15, not a house, land. And it's, I think, 15% or 14% interest, okay? And people are buying it. 30% default rate, 30%. So they default because they're carrying the note. You're in default, I take your land back, I resell it. This is a moneymaker like you can't believe. You cannot import 10 million people into a country and not have communities like this. This is the future of America if we don't wake up. Have you ever been to Brazil? You go to Rio, nice houses, right out of the gate, poverty like you've never seen, right? That's what's coming to America. We are becoming a third world nation, and this is the canary in the coal mine.
Rob, if you got the clip to play it, there you go. If you want to make it bigger and let
I think that's a commercial.
Not that guy.
let's
He's
get
going to
that
talk to you
guy.
about your poop.
Yeah, I
About your poop.
This guy.
Go ahead.
That's what he does.
Go ahead, Rob.
Really? Okay.
Go for it.
Time Joe Biden's out of office, there will be about 10 million new people in here. If you have 10 million people coming in, where are they living? Look at the size of this.
The fastest growing development in Texas is just a 30-minute drive from Houston. Any idea of how many are illegal?
The majority.
The majority.
The majority.
I'm like Sears and Roebuck. I have a product, I created it, I sell it.
Does it bother you at all, just culturally, in America, to have 150,000 people that are speaking another language?
Own something of your own home. That's what we're trying to create for people here.
If it's the American dream, why don't you advertise in English?
They are going against humanity, against Americans, non-Americans, a lot of races, a lot of people.
Like, we were dumb for even falling into this. But I mean, what do we do? What do we do?
If you import the third world, you end up becoming more third world.
I've served in Afghanistan. Every war-torn or third world country always has that same distinct smell, and it's the smell of burning trash.
You can see all the undeveloped lots. This could become massive.
Gunfire shooting up there, just pow, 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 coming in front of my house.
My wife's advice was, don't piss off any cartels. I said, I'll try.
Is this the future for America? Because this is the path we're on as an entire country. This is a completely new population.
I talked to the developer, and I mean, it was, honestly, I thought I was being punked. It was like, do you remember when, what's his name, used to play this on Saturday Night Live, the 60 Minutes guy, and he'd be sweaty, and you remember? Yeah. It was like that, sitting with this guy. And I said to him, as we went for a tour, I said, have you ever seen It's a Wonderful Life? And he immediately said, I'm not Mr. Potter.
Oh, wow. He knows who he is.
Yep.
Wow.
And it is Potterville. But you are looking at a place that the school, brand new, giant schools, are already putting trailers out, and there's no tax base. Okay? These are poor people. And we're just importing them. The crime is off the charts, and the developer was like, well, that's because the county. The county hasn't changed except for this. And the most disturbing thing is our Republican governor took $1.5 million from the developer's brother in campaign contributions. We called him. We wrote to him, snail mail even, just in case they...
Who, Governor Abbott?
Governor Abbott. No response. I can usually get a call back from somebody. No response.
Wow.
And we tried for probably 5 weeks to get, I'll fly to you. I'll do it at any hour, any time, any place. I just have a few questions. When I asked the developer, I said, what do people... why would you spend $1.4 million to the governor? He's like, well, we really think he's great. And I said, so do I, but I haven't given him 1.4. What are you getting for that 1.4? And he said, you don't get things from politicians like that. And I just looked at him and he went, okay, all right, okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
But he didn't tell you.
no, he didn't tell me.
So
but
what do you think he's getting? If he were to get anything, what would he get from a Governor Abbott?
He's getting, I think, call off the dogs. I don't think he's doing anything illegal, okay? But he's doing a lot of immoral stuff, really bad. He's really, I think, a really bad kind of businessman. But I don't think he's doing anything illegal. But how can the governor, who has such a problem, now this is a red, deeply red county. It won't be for long. The migrant, if you want to call it that, the migrant population already dwarfs the people that used to live there. Okay? This is about flipping Texas.
Yeah.
Once people understand what he's doing, there are all kinds of shady businessmen all over the country. I mean, we have grown our population the size of one Arkansas in 4 years. Well, that's not Arkansas, Alabama. One Alabama. You can't keep this up without completely changing the financial situation of the country.
And Texas would be the first-round draft pick for the Democrats to flip.
Oh, they would love Texas before Florida, by the way.
Oh, you flip Texas and you're done.
Over.
Well,
You'll
there's more
never
electoral
see a
votes anyway
Republican
than
again.
Well, that's the entire point of a completely open border with no answers, no accountability for Mayorkas, nobody. Everybody's using the whole humanitarian thing. That is so brilliant because that's exactly what the point is. And now you're seeing it because they're building cities. And like you said, that's going to flip. Why else would they have the border completely open? Why? That's it right there.
There's a couple of things that have been in play for a very long time that people don't understand. One is the Cloward and Piven collapse theory. You overwhelm the system. You use the system and pit it against itself. You overwhelm it and you collapse the economy. You collapse the government because of debt. That's in play. The other thing is, again, all of it is about chaos and collapse. You know, the Red Cross, Doctors Without Borders, they are handing out maps. We have them. Handing out maps to people in Middle America and South America. They're handing them out with the train schedules, the stops where you'll be welcome, the maps, how to go, where to go to cross into the United States. The Red Cross, the United Nations, and Doctors Without Borders. Those are three that we can verify because we have the documentation. We have what they're handing out. This is an organized plot to collapse the United States. When we go into real trouble, I mean, look at what came out today with Denver. They can't afford the hospitals. When we go into real trouble and we hit real economic hard times, and you've got rationing and everything else, and you have 10 million people that are already a disaster, do you think things are going to get better or worse? And how long does it take before people say, you know what? This was my land in the first place. And I don't mean Americans. I mean, everybody's been groomed to say America stole this land. How long before Californians start to hear, you know what? This is Mexican land. This is foreign land. You stole it from us. You introduce real poverty and despair. We're sitting on a powder keg. A powder keg. We got to humble ourselves and return to solid principles.
That's powerful. And right now you saw last week that the debate going back and forth online, how, we have more potential migrants, illegal immigrants coming here in one term than the previous 3 terms combined. They're projecting 12.99 million illegal immigrants coming through here.
Did you see what the World Economic Forum said? Canada. Now imagine being a Canadian. Canada has the most open space, the most resources for farming and to take people and water. And they're suggesting that in the next few years, the next decade, that they should take on 35 million immigrants to cross their border. By the way, the population of Canada is 35 million.
Exactly.
And you know what? By the
quick.
way, you know what? Let's send a bunch of buses over to
We
Canada.
should. I mean, hey, help us out.
Yeah,
Justin Trudeau would sign up
we'll
for that, no
contribute it to
problem.
Justin.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.